Hey, it's me, and I would like to introduce myself and explain to you where I'm at in my life and what my adoption story is for everybody that's interested. Um, my name is Andrew. As you probably already know, I hope you all do. Um, we're listening to the song that I'm currently obsessed with right now. I Am the Best by 2NE1, or 21 as people that know K-pop call them. And I'm in love with this lead singer. Her name is CL. She's gorgeous. Anyway, I am going to Korea in June for a tour. It's my first time going back to... I bet this music is too loud. And so anyway, I'm going to Korea from June 19th to June 28th on a tour with a bunch of other Korean adoptees. That's people who were adopted from Korea and now living mostly in the United States here. And as I was adopted when I was 3 months old, my brother was also adopted. He's 3 years younger than me. And although he's not going on the trip, I wish he was. I am going with friends, Kate Lustig, shout out to Kate, woo, woo, from Carmel, Indiana, as well as a bunch of other people who I know and love very dearly, and big shout out to Mary Hyatt, who is a primary organizer of the tour, and she's from Michigan, and she's awesome. Thank you, Mary, for letting me go on this trip. It is the coolest thing I've ever done, or will ever do, probably, for sure. What else? So, basically I'm getting ready for the trip. I moved back to Indiana from DC 1 week ago from today. I'm living with my parents again, which is actually pretty nice. And I miss DC, I miss you all. I would love to stay there, but I couldn't really afford it, nor could I find a job, nor was I really looking too hard. I was homesick, I guess, and I wanted to come home, and this is where I need to be until for the next few months, I guess. And then after the trip in June, I think I'm going to figure out what I want to do with my life then. So until June, I'm going to be trying to learn some Korean, prepare for the trip. I'm also doing a birth search in working with the tour leaders who are also, they are in communication with the social workers in Korea who are looking into my files and trying to find my birth parents. If they do find my birth parents, then they'll hopefully be cool with meeting me, and then we can set up the trip and meet in June. Which I really, really hope will happen. But I'm not giving my hopes up. I know that a lot of things, there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of outcomes. And for instance, I'm reading about, oh my gosh, this book is very emotional. It's called, what's it called? I Wish for You a Beautiful Life. It's a book about letters that Korean birth parents wrote to their children. It's so sad. So sad. It's given me a lot of insight into what the parents went through, though, which I had no idea. You know, I'm all selfish and thinking, you know, oh, they abandoned me, blah, blah, blah. You know, but they were under a lot of pressure. I understand with the things that were going on in the 80s, and still today, there's a lot of pressure for unwed mothers to not be mothers. You know, I mean, there's discrimination against the mothers and the children in Seoul. I mean, in Korea, they're a little behind in women's rights and stuff like that. An excerpt that I like to read, which really hit me hard, was this woman who wrote a letter to her child saying, blah blah blah, to my darling daughter, blah 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 blah. And it said something about, I hope to meet you when I'm older, or I hope, oh shit, Can I see you? Okay, my sweetheart, be healthy. I hope you won't have to suffer the kind of pain I have suffered. Can I see you when you become an adult? How dare I see you again, the sinner that I am. Oh, that's so sad, I know. And I hope my birth parents want to see me. But if not, that's cool, I understand. And gosh, it's just a really emotional. It's emotional for me. I don't even know how to feel it. I don't even know what these emotions are. Anyway, speaking of books, here's another cool book. The Birth of Korean Cool. It's got just a ton of little anecdotes from this lady who was born there, or born in the United States and moved to Korea when she was young in the like 70s, 80s, and she explains the entire process of how Korea became cool. All the K-pop stuff, how that evolved, pop culture stuff. I mean, Korea's really cool now. You know, it talks about the economy, the growth of companies like Samsung, Kia, Hyundai. Talks about the development of the World Cup being there so many years ago, stuff like that. I don't know. It's a quick read, although I haven't finished it because I rarely finish any books. Anyway, I'm trying to wrap this up because I'm rambling like crazy. This, I just installed like 10 minutes ago. I'm going to be picking at it here and there, I don't know, whatever. It's all about immersion, so I'm going to try the immersion system that Rosetta Stone suggests. Because this was working. I mean, I was writing down a bunch of, can you see that? I was writing a bunch of letters and trying to understand how to read and write. I was doing okay. I mean, this website, it's called learnlangs.com. I don't know if you can even see that. Learnlangs.com. Or just Google this. Google learn to read and write and pronounce in Korean. There's 5 lessons. It's really quick. And I even wrote down, I did, it's like B, B, P, B up. You know, so I made little flashcards. Ryod. Jiut. And I made little stuff like, see, start of the word, it sounds like chop, ch. Start of a syllable is a J sound, ch, j. And when it's on the end of a word, when this is on the end of a word, it sounds like t, like hot. So, yeah, doing stuff like that. Found stuff like this when I moved home, although I can't find the bullets. So yeah, it's great to be home. I'm looking forward to learning all this Korean stuff. And I am going to make this a video blog, and I'm going to have extra cool special effects where I can edit and stuff, and so I won't have to be like, oh, look at this webpage, you know. I can actually put it up there for you guys. I can have cool music effects. By the way, here's a cool song. It's called Come Back Home. It's also by 2NE1. I'm obsessed with it. It's really sad. It's called Come Back Home, and so I think it's like come back home like me, come back home to Korea. But it's really not about that. But whatever. I'm going to listen to it like it is, and how I want to hear it, because I have selective hearing. And then I'd also need to get videos editing software. So if anybody wants to hook me up with some Adobe Premiere Pro for free, hit me up. I will give you a shout out in my video blogs. And oh, if anybody, I have CS4, but I don't have the key code. I lost it. And it's a pirated version anyway, so I might as well try to be legit. And I could throw some money out somewhere if someone wants to hook me up with a discount. And I also want to get a GoPro. This video is not to solicit these things or anything. I'm just telling you my plans. I want to have a GoPro when I go to Korea for show, and it'd be cool to kind of practice that and make video blogs. I don't even know how long this has been taping or filming, but I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you've gotten this far, I commend you, and I hope you can subscribe and like and follow me and hit me up on Twitter and Snapchat.